everyone, and welcome to another episode of Armored Warfare. This is Tanks for the Mammeries with a news flash on Armored Warfare. There was an update patch today, and I wanted to talk to you guys about that. This is the patch that allows you to apply camouflage to your vehicles. Very exciting stuff. And I thought I would go through and do a little demonstration and show you some of the different camouflage types that they have. So similar to World of Tanks, Armored Warfare is allowing you to purchase camouflage for your vehicles, and they're going to have three different types of camouflage that you can apply to your vehicles. They have the desert, the woodland, and the Arctic/snow type camouflage. Within those three different types, there are a number of different patterns and variants of camouflage. So what I've done here is I've just pulled up my T92, and my thought at this point in time is, since I'm still getting used to the game, and I haven't played all the vehicles I want, and I'm not sure how many that I'm going to continue to play with over time, my thought was to start by putting camouflage on those vehicles that I had purchased. So ones that I had spent money for as part of either the Founders Pack or any vehicles that I bought later on that were premium type vehicles that I was going to keep for various reasons, just because mainly because I'd spent the money. I thought those would be the ones that most likely start camouflage on, just to see what it was like and to explore this with you guys here. So as you can see, I have my Tier 2 T92 light tank pulled up in my garage, and you can see that what I've done is I have the camouflage stuff over here. For those of you who don't know where to find that information, if you pull up a vehicle in the garage and you go down here with your mouse to where the commander and crew are, over here on the side is the information about things that you can change. Like, you can change the loader, you can do automatic resupply of your consumables, automatic resupply of your ammunition, and auto repair. You can change out your commanders, as I said, your loader, your gunner, your driver, etc. Then over here below that, you'll see a little spray paint can, which is what this is. If you click the spray paint can button, this takes you to where previously, if you explored this, you were able to put decals on your vehicles. So you could come over here and buy certain decals for gold, and you could choose to put them on for a week. And if you put them on for less than permanently, you could pay for it with credits. But you can choose here to put on different emblems on your vehicle, all different kinds, numbering, lettering, things like that. They had different words, flags, obviously different symbols, things like that. So you could go through and put any of these on your vehicle that you wanted to, and you could do it for 7 days, you could do it for a month, you could do it permanently. And these two buttons here are permanently on just this vehicle or permanently on all your vehicles. And that was for decals. So if you chose one, you put it up there and it would show up on your tank. You can see how that is right there. Now, before today, this camo button was grayed out. You couldn't use it. But now it's available. So as I said, you have the woodland camouflage pattern, you have the desert camouflage pattern, and you have the winter Arctic camouflage pattern. And again, same sort of thing. You can put down for 1 week, 30 days, just for the current vehicle or for this vehicle. So you can see that the camouflage patterns are 50 gold, and there's different kinds. There's all these different digital kinds. There are some more edgy type kinds with sharp edges, and then there are stripes. And then if you get further down here, you get into the solid patterns, and you can see that these are locked. And the reason that they're locked is, starting from this update on, you can unlock these solid colors by playing 10 battles or missions on desert maps for the desert camouflage base paints. For the early NATO woodland colors, it's 40 battles or missions on woodland maps. And then the same thing, for Arctic, you have to do 20 battles or missions on snow maps. So you can earn these over time. You cannot buy these specifically, but you can earn these over time. So going back up, you can see you have all these different, as I said, the digitals, the hard type, and the tiger stripe, and then you get down into the ones that you can unlock over time. So basically, all the camouflages are 50 gold per vehicle, and it doesn't let you choose which one to put where. In other words, if I were to choose this one, this Ranger Fractal Camouflage, you can see it's telling me what box that I have to put that into. I can't put it into the winter. I can't put it into the desert. I can only put it into the woodland. And so this is what it looks like on the vehicle. So if I were choosing to buy this camouflage, and it's pretty cool, I kind of like this one. That's 50 gold for me to put it on this vehicle. Now, having done so, when I am in a woodland forest type map, this camo will be on the vehicle. It automatically loads up for you once you have it on there, and it gives you a camo factor increase of 0.03%. So when you add camouflage to your vehicles, it will increase your camouflage coefficient. So that's what the Ranger Fractal looks like there. I could put, let me see here. This is a winter pattern. I'll put that one on. And that's sort of Swedish looking winter pattern there. And then I could do, I could do this for desert. And this would be, this vehicle would now be all camoed up. And you can see over on this side that I have it set right now for current vehicle permanently, and it's 50 gold per, which means that it's 150 gold to buy this camo permanently to be on this vehicle. And if I clicked purchase, it would deduct the gold from my account, and this vehicle would now have camouflage. So that's pretty much how it works, and I'm going to take those off for right now. I don't really want those on there. So let's go look at a different vehicle. Let's go look at something bigger than this. For example, let's take a look at the Mammeries. So here's the Mammeries. And again, I picked this color. This is the digital desert. Put that on there, and that's what it looks like. Sort of a Chinese pattern. I think the Chinese are using some of the digital on their vehicles. So there's that, what that would look like. And if I wanted to put a decal on there, go down to these numbers. Put a number on there, and that would be cool. So it would look like that. Anyway, so that's it for this vehicle right here. And again, it's basically 50 gold per thing that you want to put on there. So if I were to do winter, it would look like that. And if I wanted to do woodland digital, it would look like that. And so that's what it looks like, guys, for the camouflage. So if that's something you want to do, you are free and clear to check it out now. As I said, these other solid colors here, you have to unlock them by doing different kinds of missions. This one, and each one is different, just so you know. This one is 5 battles on snow maps. This one is 10 battles on woodland maps. This one is 40 battles on woodland maps. So each one is different. And so as you're playing, whether it's a PvE mission or a PvP battle, as you play more, different ones of these will become unlocked. So rather than just pick the first one that comes along, if you just keep playing a little bit more, and I don't believe, guys, that this is per vehicle. I think it unlocks no matter which vehicle you use. If you play 3 battles with your T-72 and 5 battles with your VMF-5 and then a couple of battles with a Sheridan or whatever it is, that those will all accumulate, and when you reach a certain number of woodland battles, Arctic battles, or desert battles, those colors will unlock as you get to the threshold there. So for example, late Soviet, 10 battles on woodland maps, it doesn't matter which vehicle that I use, so long as I eventually get to 10 battles, whether it's PvP or PvE, they both count. Once I get there, this one will unlock, and I can then put it onto my vehicle. So that's it right there for the camouflage stuff. So I'm pretty excited to see that. I will go through the rest of the patch notes for you guys here shortly, and we'll do some games while I go through those patch notes for you. So stick around, and we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so one more thing about the camouflage, just so you guys are aware. If you go back here to this, and we're gonna test this out, but my understanding is if you go here, and all this is in place when you first sign on. The first game you play after the patch, and we're going to check this out, but the first game you play after the patch, if you've already achieved, for example, 5 battles on desert maps, 40 battles on woodland maps, whatever the number is for this, after your first battle, those should all unlock, so it should be retroactive back to all the battles you've already played. The other thing that's interesting is, just so you guys are aware, you can come take a camouflage, you can take a paint base coat. For example, I can take this early NATO base coat right here, and if it's unlocked, I can apply it to my tank. Then I can go up and take one of these camouflage patterns and put it on top of the base coat. It doesn't give you any more camouflage coefficient than what it says right here, but I am allowed to change the base coat of my vehicle to one of these other colors and then go through and apply a pattern on top of that. So you can stack these one on top of the other. So let's do this. Let's go ahead. We're just going to jump into a fight. We're going to do it in the T92. Okay. We're just going to jump into a real quick mission here. Start easy. Just get into one. And when that's over, we're going to go back and see if the paint scheme does update like it's supposed to, and we'll go from there. So while we're waiting to load in, basically what it says is this is from the website, and there's a bunch of stuff I'm going to cover in today's update, which includes all of the game changes, the skill and retrofit rebalance, which is a big deal. There's a lot of nerfing going on there for you guys to be aware of. And also, we're going to talk about some of the different vehicle characteristics that have been changed. And so you guys know, there is a tournament ongoing for North America. So for the North American server, there is a tournament that's taking place. And the details about that tournament and what it involves and the prizes for it are on the Armored Warfare website at my.com. Or when you go to log into the game and you click the loading screen, it brings up some information about, like, current updates and things like that. And on that screen is some information about getting into the tournament. So take a look at that if you're interested in doing tournaments. I'm not going to get into the whole thing about the tournament rules and all that because it's not for me to play. So if you do want to see information about the tournament, and if you're on the North American server and you want to get into the tournament, go to armoredwarfare@my.com and take a look at it. So while we're doing that, basically, as I mentioned, the big deal for this that most of you guys are going to be really interested in is the camouflage pattern. I'm really glad they finally put that out. We'll talk about the game mechanics and retrofit skill balance and some other things while we have some battles going on. But for the first one here, let's just get into battle and see when this is over if indeed it does retroactively go back and give me unlocked base coats for all the battles that I've had before. So we'll just try and make this fairly quick. Let's do. All right, not spotting anybody yet.
Looks like the PLM had a backup plan to escape with supplies. If you take them all out, I'll throw in a bonus.
Here they come. Nope, nobody yet. There they are.
Identify. Hostile, tank. No effect.
again.
Enemy destroyed.
He's dead. Alright, let's go get some of these secondaries. Oops. Missed him.
Penetrated.
Oh, I'm gonna get shot.
Penetrated. Hostile tank. No effect.
Shit.
Target eliminated. Target hit.
How much time have I got?
Good hit.
Alright.
Target hit.
Hit him again.
Target down.
Alright. Let's see if we can get those things. Damn, dead before I could get to him. Oops.
Tank. Target hit. Hostile tank. No hit.
Damn.
Good work. That should slow them down for a while. All right, Black Company, you're in position. Hold for air support. Incoming hostiles. Tank. Sailed. Penetrated. Hostile CC. Target down. Hostile CC. Target lost. Target lost. Target hit.
Damn.
Direct hit. Hostile CC. Direct hit. Target eliminated.
Alright, so let's just see what happens now. It's almost over.
Hostile tank. Target lost. Direct hit. Direct hit. Target eliminated. Well done. You've taken the refinery.
Oh, that was good.
Enjoy your payday.
Alright, so let's see what happens now. Let's, we got that little battle out of the way, and when we go through the notes here, I will just put some other battles on the screen that I played previously. But in the meantime, let's see how many of that, how many have been unlocked for, of those paints have been unlocked for playing this battle. Because I've done quite a few battles in all different terrain now, so theoretically, this should have unlocked at least one of them. the patch notes say, please note that the achievements are retroactive. If a player completes the requirements necessary for the unlocking of certain paints before the update, all paints with their achievements completed will unlock automatically after the next battle. So fine, we did fine there. I don't really care about the fight. Let's go to paints. Let's go to camo. Let's zoom down here. They're all unlocked except for the titanium snow base paint, 20 battles and missions of snow maps. So all these other ones are now unlocked. So theoretically, I could come do the American base paint, right? Wait a minute, how do I do that? Oh, gotcha. All right, so that's the base paint. Then I can come up here and put the desert color on top of that. That's fucking cool. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. Right, so that's pretty neat. So let's go to late Soviet, late NATO. Let's put that there. And then we'll come up and do a pattern on top of that. Like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then let's do a wintertime color, like, for example, snow base steel, winter NATO. We'll do that. And then we'll put like that on top. And so now I have, as you can see in my checkout over here, I've got my base colors. I have my camos on top of that, and I will purchase those. Confirm that. And now my tank is permanently colored in those colors. So that is how you get camouflage on your vehicles. Very cool. So I've got some more to unlock to get that last winter color, but basically all of you who are watching this, if you've been playing this game for a while in either PvP or PvE mode, after you get the update, go play one battle, come back, and all of your base paints, or almost all of your base paints, should be unlocked. Get those first, and then you apply your camouflage on top of that. So anyway, I will put some other battles on here, and we'll go through the rest of the patch notes so you guys can hear about the retrofit and skill rebalance, some changes to the different vehicles. Let's see, what else do we have in our notes here? We've got, it's about 10 pages of notes. Some information on changes to maps, and yeah, lots of map changes, and then issue and correction changes for the game itself, for the UI, things like that. So I'll go through all of those for you guys here shortly. So thanks for watching this. Stick around, and we'll go through the rest of the patch notes. Alright everyone, so let's just get into the changes that have come with this update 0.12.1776, and we'll start with the gameplay mechanisms. There has been a big retrofit and skill rebalance. Basically what Armored Warfare has been saying is that after reevaluating the reload speed and crew statistic bonuses, they've realized that some players are achieving very fast reload times using a certain combination of retrofits, crew skills, and consumables. This is something that I was alerted to by Fiora the Tank Girl, who said that if I had certain things on my artillery pieces, that I would have these incredible reload times of, you know, down to 6 seconds, 8 seconds, things like that on artillery pieces. And Armored Warfare has realized that, and they've gone and made some changes to it. What they're doing is, this means that they've had to reduce many of these bonuses to help address the situation while they work on a long-term solution for stacking reload and crew statistic bonuses. The full changes are as follows. Air conditioner technology upgrades have been lowered to a 2% crew statistic bonus on all vehicles that have this upgrade, so it's gone from whatever it was down to 2%. The commander's skill leadership has been lowered to a 4% bonus to crew statistics. The commander passive skills fire when ready and fire at will have both been reduced to a 6% bonus to reload speed. The commander's active skills Strength in Numbers, Giant Killer, Fired Up, Fire at Will, Brawler, Determination, and Watch It Burn have all been cut in half, resulting in a reload speed bonus of between 6 and 10%. So they are making some major nerfs to crew skills. The commander active skill Feed the Flames has been reduced to a 20% reload speed bonus. The loader crew skill Rapid Fire has been reduced to a 2.5% bonus to reload speed. Consumables related to crew statistics such as protein bars and energy drinks are now mutually exclusive and will not stack on each other anymore. So if you're using both of those, take one off, save yourself the money, because those two consumables will not stack onto each other. That's the protein bars and energy drinks. Other changes that have taken place: the drawing distance of shadows is reduced in order to increase game performance. The drawing distance of vegetation on ultra, very fine, and high settings is reduced in order to increase performance. Entering a platoon with a player who's on your ignore list will cause this player to be immediately removed from the ignore list. So watch yourself there. As far as vehicles are concerned, there's a number of vehicle changes, and I'll go through these fairly generally unless there's something major in the vehicle patch notes that you need to be aware of. For the Acacia, the Acacia has been consistently underperforming in terms of average revenue, win rates, and reputation, only slightly, but they're going to give it a minor buff and continue to evaluate it, which means the salvo reload time decreased from 20 seconds to 18 seconds, and the targeting time has been reduced from 7 seconds to 6.5 seconds. For the BMPT-72, compared to the Crab, the BMPT-72 has been underperforming. To help improve this and keep it distinct from the other armored fighting vehicles in the line, they're primarily improving its hit points, but they've also improved its weaponry where appropriate. The hit points on the BMPT-72 have increased from 1760 to 2000. The anti-tank guided missile salvo reload decreased from 24 seconds to 20 seconds. The armor-piercing round penetration increased from 177 to 201. The accuracy bloom rate from movement decreased from 0.25 to 0.2. The accuracy bloom rate from hull traverse decreased from 0.75 to 0.6. The B1 Draco. The Draco is doing considerably better than pre-patch, but still feels generally underwhelming. To help the vehicle have a special niche and to feel like a good competitor to the Crab, they've improved its weapon. The clip size has increased from 8 to 12. The ammo capacity increased from 160 to 240. The stock armor-piercing round penetration increased from 293 to 331, and the upgraded AP round penetration increased from 308 to 348. For the Lab 600, while most TDs are performing well with changes in the last patch, the Lab 600 has fallen behind the curve. To improve this, they're upgrading gun performance, and if these changes prove insufficient, they'll continue to evaluate further changes as needed. The targeting time on the Lab 600 has decreased from 3.4 to 3 seconds. Peak accuracy improved from 0.122 to 0.099. It's extremely accurate. Maximum reticule size improved from 1.47 to 1.191, and the reload time decreased from 6.4 seconds to 5.82 seconds. Moving on to tanks, the Leopard 2A6 was underperforming in both win rate and reputation earnings compared to other Tier 9 vehicles. They're doing some simple improvements to help bring it up to par, including increasing the hit points from 2635 to 2770. The anti-tank guided missile reload time decreased from 20 seconds to 10.53 seconds. Geez, that's 50% buff in the reload time. Targeting time decreased from 3.5 seconds to 3.1 seconds. There's some accuracy bloom from movement and hull traverse decreases, so those are pretty standard. The M2 Bradley armored fighting vehicle they admit they haven't done well getting it just right, so they're focusing on a current series of improvements on the weapon system, and they'll continue to evaluate it. But the stock armor-piercing damage increased from 41 to 45. The upgraded armor-piercing damage increased from 46 to 48. The second AP upgraded damage increased from 48 to 51. Stock HE damage is increased from 31 to 33. Upgraded HE from 34 to 37. The stock anti-tank guided missile damage increased from 371 to 420. The upgraded anti-tank guided missile damage increased from 389 to 441. The anti-tank guided missile salvo reload time has decreased from 24 to 18 seconds. The stock penetration for the penetration for the stock anti-tank guided missile increased from 668 to 702, and the upgraded ATGM penetration increased from 699 to 734. For the M48 Patton tank, the M48 was performing slightly below standards, and its upgraded cannon wasn't very impressive. They're giving some boosts to the second cannon to help them make the upgrade feel more meaningful and improve the vehicle's overall performance. The upgraded cannon stock armor-piercing ammo damage increased from 194 to 213. The upgraded cannon stock AP penetration increased from 165 to 174. The upgraded cannon's first armor-piercing upgrade shell went from 199 to 219 in damage. The upgraded cannon first AP upgrade penetration increased from 169 to 178. The second AP upgrade damage increased from 208 to 229. The penetration on that second AP round upgrade round went from 177 to 186. The HE damage increased from 146 to 164. The heat damage increased from 230 to 248, and the upgraded heat ammunition increased from 235 to 254. For the T-Series vehicles, those are the Soviet tanks, several of the vehicles in the T-Series have been performing below standards for quite some time. They're making some general improvements to the majority of the line. Some of the vehicles are only receiving small improvements, while others that are suffering the worst will receive large changes. So starting with those, the T-64 gets an increase in hit points from 1,220 to 1,310, and the base vision range increased from 320 to 330. The T-64A gets an increase in hit points from 1,405 to 1,510. The base vision range increased from 320 to 330. The T-72 gets a hit point increase from 1,415 to 1,555. The base vision range increases from 320 to 330. The T-72A gets a hit point increase from 1,510 to 1,705, pretty significant. The base vision range increased from 320 to 330. The reload time for standard shells decreased from 9.52 seconds to basically 9.09 seconds. That's a pretty good chunk. The anti-tank guided missile reload time decreased from 16.67 seconds to 13.33 seconds. As for the T-80, the hit points increased from 1875 to 1995. Reload time for standard shells decreased from 8.7 seconds to 8.4 seconds. The reload time for the anti-tank guided missile decreased from 12.9 seconds to 12.12 seconds. For the T-90, which I have not gotten to yet, the hit points have increased from 2195 to 2290, and the anti-tank guided missile reload time decreased from 11.76 seconds to 11.11 seconds. For the T-90MS, they fixed an issue where the thickness of the T-90MS lower front plate was reverted from a previous patch change value. The lower frontal plate should now be properly penetrable by similar tiered vehicles with enough penetration. The Zalo S Merc vehicle, they fixed an issue where the Merc edition of the Zalo S would not become highlighted when targeted. In some game modes here, in the player versus player mode, on the map Cold Strike, they fixed an issue with the bus station in cell E5, which could be shot through. They removed the shadows from the power lines as they were too imposing. For the pipelines map, they fixed a VFX issue when destroying oil pumps at cell C0. On the reactor map, they performed a major optimization visual pass on the reactor map. Upon evaluating the map's performance after the release of the 0.12 update and determining it to be subpar, they disabled the map reactor in order to perform a major optimization patch. Since they've noticeably improved the performance of the map, they have now put it back into the game. So we will be seeing the reactor map back in the game. Moving on into the player versus player environment, a pass has been done on several PvE maps to fix numerous visual and collision bugs that are present. On the cavalry map, they fixed an issue where AI would fail to enter the map and would instead engage players from off-map locations, which is something I've noticed. They fixed an issue where AI would spawn at improper locations, causing them to get stuck on objects. Fixed an issue where AI would sometimes spawn right around the players. Increased artillery boundaries so that players can hit enemies that spawn beyond map borders. Fixed an issue where the mission would randomly fail before the mission had been completed. I've had that happen to me, interestingly enough. They fixed an issue where the mission would display defeat banner after players destroyed all enemy AIs. They fixed an issue where the audio voiceover would restart when a player entered a cap zone. Fixed an issue where the downed plane did not have sound effects. For the Red Possum map, they performed an optimization pass to improve the performance of the map. For Ricochet, they added missing sounds to some of the oil pumps. On Sapphire, they adjusted the lighting on the map so it was easier to see enemies. Fixed an issue where a large white square would appear after destroying a secondary objective inside the bunker, which I've seen. On Snakebite, they fixed an issue where the victory cutscene would not display at the end of the mission. For other issues and corrections, they fixed an issue where vehicles with 2 loaders receive 2 full individual bonuses to their crew statistics from any source which modifies crew skills, consumables, or retrofits, for example. The result is that each loader now only contributes to half the bonus. If both loaders have the same crew skill selected, the resulting bonuses will be equivalent to a single loader. If each loader has a different set of crew skills selected, the player will be able to have more bonuses just with fewer individual statistics. They fixed an issue where new players attempting to complete basic training tutorial would be temporarily unable to if they pressed F1. They fixed an issue where the penalty for dealing friendly damage would be doubled, resulting in the system taking more credits than intended. Fixed an issue where secondary weapon systems would not work if the player reconnected to a battle during the countdown. Removed cannon collision on destroyed tanks so players would no longer get their vehicles stuck under them. I've had that happen. Fixed an issue where the standard vehicle would change color if there was an equivalent ice vehicle on the enemy team. Fixed an issue where a new player account would still receive rewards after deserting their first PvE mission. Fixed an issue where after pressing Alt-Enter some UI elements would become shifted in Armored Warfare. Fixed various issues with resizing the Armored Warfare client in both windowed and full screen modes. Fixed an issue where reputation bonuses provided by certain commander skills were displaying 1% instead of 10%. The bug did not affect the actual amount of reputation provided by the bonus. Fixed an issue where a player who had been banned by the owner of a custom match would not be automatically unbanned when re-invited to the match by the owner. Fixed an issue where the host of a custom match would receive notification of being banned from the match lobby after banning another player. Updated the UI to properly display the half crew skills values when using a vehicle with 2 loaders. Updated the UI to properly display the half crew skills. Let's talk about that. Let's see what else here. Fixed an issue where a slide during basic training tutorial pointed in the wrong direction of the post-match screen. Fixed an issue where the dossier privacy settings would be reset when pressing default in the settings menu. Updated the description of the armor-piercing ballistic cap round. Slightly adjusted how minor bonus multipliers are displayed on the details tab in the post-match screen. Fixed an issue where emoticons would sometimes display in the post-match screen. Changed unspent and free XP to no longer show in the upgrade screen and vehicle tooltips unless there are parts to unlock. Additionally, they've modified the tooltips on locked reputation, free reputation, credits, gold, and progression bar elements to direct the player's attention towards the locked reputation pool. Fixed an issue where the custom match lobby could lag if too many players continuously press the ready button. Fixed an issue where battalion officers were not able to cancel a battalion invite. Fixed an issue where players could use decals for free. Fixed an issue where players would be able to join a custom match while still being in a queue for a PvP or PvE. Fixed an issue where lighting in the garage would display black lines over the vehicle based on the player's shadow settings. Fixed a rare issue where players could sometimes accrue more than 1,000 base materials. I wish that happened to me. Fixed an issue where players could sometimes collect base materials twice a day. Fixed an issue where selling an ice vehicle dropped the player into an empty dealer branch. So, big changes, lots of optimizations, huge number of nerfs to a series of vehicles there. There were some buffs to vehicles as well. The nerfs primarily were for commanders and crew skills. The buffs were to a series of underperforming vehicles, which they are going to continue to keep an eye on. I wish they had put the Challenger and Chieftain guns into that upgrade mix. They didn't. This is also a map, the game that you're watching right now, this is a map that I have some performance issues on, and I really shouldn't. It's a game optimization issue and not a computer issue, but because I'm running a very nice Origin PC with outstanding components, so it should not be an issue with my computer. But I am seeing significant lag on this map in the beginning when I try to zoom in on things. Anyway, so that's it, guys. You've seen me talk about the camo. You've seen how to apply camo to vehicles. You have seen me talk about the patch notes. Talked about the buffs and the nerfs to the crew skills, the buffs to some of the vehicles, specifically the T-70, the T line of Soviet tanks. Anyway, so that is it for this match, pretty much right here. I think this is going to be pretty much the end of this match. But I hope you get out there and play some Armored Warfare. I hope you have enjoyed this news flash here, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget to look for me online at either Armored Warfare or World of Tanks or even World of Warships, which I haven't played in a while. But this news flash I thought was pretty important because the camo is something that most of us have been waiting on for a very, very long time, and I am really glad to see it. It doesn't quite have all the different types of camouflage I was hoping for. I was hoping for some more realistic camouflage patterns, but I'll take what they've got, and look forward to doing up some more of my vehicles there. So hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to check out my other videos on YouTube, Tanks for the Mammeries, playing Armored Warfare, World of Tanks, World of Warships, and Star Citizen. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate all your support.